Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday WIP Knockout. So happy to see all of you here. Thank you for your time. And I am excited that this is starting to get some traction and that people are finding value in this particular live. If you are new here, make sure that you grab 3 WIPs, 3 projects, something that you've been sitting on for a while or you've been putting off for a while, maybe haven't touched in a long time, or if it's something that maybe you don't have very many WIPs, you just have 3 projects around that you started and you're still working on, please go gather those and have those really close to you. So that way you can quickly transition from one project to the next. Also grab something to drink. So that way, as we're working through this and you're enjoying these sessions and all this massive focus, you can have something right next to you to stay hydrated and just have a really good setup so you're good to go. If you have never been to one of my Wednesday WIP knockouts, this is a very structured live. So I'm going to start off very quickly, try to get a setup. I want to try to be ready to go by 05. So for me, that would be 2:05, depending on what your time zone is. It might be a different hour or something, but basically the first 5 minutes, I'm going to try to get us to get set up so that way we can get started with our first 20-minute session or block of time. In this structured live, there are going to be 3 blocks of 20 minutes, and each block you're going to hyper focus on one project. Don't pay attention to anything else. Don't think about anything else. We're just going to give this one project 20 minutes of our undivided attention so that way we can chisel away a little bit at it and make some forward progress with the projects. After our first 20-minute session, there will be a 5-minute transition where we can finish up the row or wrap up project 1, fold it up, put it away nice and neatly, grab project number 2, get ourselves set up, ready to go. And then I will begin session number 2. In the second session, you'll start working and hyper-focusing on the second project. And by hyper-focusing only for 20 minutes, we're really not sacrificing anything. It's not like, oh, I can't do this because I have to do that. No, it's just 20 minutes. I mean, we waste this time on Instagram or TikTok or Pinterest for me. Like 20 minutes is just gone. So if we can just give it 20 minutes, you'd be surprised how much you can get accomplished and how close you can get to finishing up that WIP. Then between session 2 and 3, we're going to do a crocheter's stretch, because by that time we will have been sitting for at least 50 minutes and it'll be time for us to stand and really take care of our bodies. It's a really quick stretch. Nothing crazy. And then after our stretch, we will begin session 3. You'll grab your 3rd project and we'll get going. Now, if you are a one project wonder person, that is fantastic. I have a couple of you in here in this particular regular live circulation, and just keep working on the same project every 20 minutes, maybe between session 1 and 2, do a tiny little stretch for yourself and keep going. But you don't have to crochet. There's some people that they've been coloring or doing chores or doing a different craft altogether or working. Like there's a lot of people that utilize these 20-minute sections however they want, but I want to make sure that we stay on cue, stay on schedule for the replays. So if anybody misses this live, they can always come back, know that the first 5 minutes of our live is just set up, and then we will jump right into the structured 25, 20, 5, 7, last 20, and then be done. Awesome. I think we're down to the last few seconds. I got 20 minutes already geared up on my iPad here. Make sure you have your first project ready to go and get yourself comfortable. We're about to begin. And then after we start the first session, I will slow down and explain a little bit more in the projects that I'm going to be working on today. I just want to make sure that we are on it when it comes to the timer. Again, structured live. We're accounting for a lot of things here. A little fiber. There we go. It is now 2:05. We're starting our first 20 minutes. Begin project number 1. And now I can slow down a little bit because the timer has begun. If you have any questions at all, I'm here. I'm live with you. You feel free to ask some questions in the chat. I do have super chats and super stickers accessible on these lives, and they really help draw my attention. I have a couple topics that I would love to talk to you about, just to fill the space so you have something to listen to while you are hyper focusing on your project. I want to give you some entertainment value. And if I start getting talking and I miss your question, I apologize so much. It's nothing against you. I just got distracted. So just re-ask your question or do the super chat, super sticker. If you don't want to do the super chat, super sticker, that's fine. Just make sure that your question has a bunch of question marks, because it'll help me to identify it as a question, and I will pause, stop, and read that. Oh, hello, crazy and odd. Trish, I miss you. It's been a hot second, girl. Oh my goodness, 20 months. Congratulations. I love that. That is so special. Huge congrats. All right, let me go ahead and dive into the chat. I want to welcome people. By now, you should be into project number 1. So just keep hyper focusing, guys. Just keep going, keep chiseling. Santa, hello. A godly man to listen to. You've been a regular, man. I appreciate seeing you be here every Wednesday. That is so cool. Lana, hello. Kathy, hi. Shawanda, welcome. Mwah. Good to see you. Fran, oh, you've been a regular too. Thank you so much, Fran. You're such a big supporter, and I appreciate you so much. Janice, hello. Heather, hi. I hope I don't mispronounce this. I want to make sure I get it right. Zakia. I'm pronouncing it Zakia, but it could be Zakia. There's a lot of different ways that it could be pronounced, but I want to say hello. Welcome, and I'm so glad that you're here. Dawn, hello. Okay, so I'm going to pause there. I'm going to read some comments real quick. How is everyone? Oh, that was so sweet of you to ask everybody. Eek, I just subscribed. Oh, it's okay. You subscribed to the wrong channel. I mean, that's okay. You can always correct that, fix that. It's not a big deal. Hello. Everyone saying hi. All right. Hi, Michelle. It's so great to see you. Says, I have 100% been so grateful for this live, and I'm so disappointed that I can't join in with a WIP today. That's okay. Some people do vastly different things. You just being here is so awesome. Thank you. But I'll be listening, baking, and cleaning. Hey, that sounds pretty awesome too. Your granddaughter's birthday party is coming. Oh, that sounds fantastic. I miss those. My kids are growing up now, and the fun little parties are kind of gone. And I'm just like, okay. That's funny. Trish says, I won't be crocheting for a bit, getting a new puppy. That's exciting. New puppy. Lana usually only has one WIP. Fran has mentioned before that she only does one WIP at a time. So you guys are rare. Like, the self-restraint is like respectable, man. Oh my gosh. Alex, where are making one of your first videos? Rewrite that for me, Alex. Dawn says, I put an emoji before I ask a question and it works. Hey, that works great. Perfect. Where are you making videos and filming at studio? Oh, I usually record and film at my home. I just, like most YouTubers, I just work at home. This is the front office of my house. So it's like, okay. Yay, Heather. I'm glad that you caught up live. Congratulations, Dawn. She says, I'll be feisty and 50 in 12 days. Yes, I love it. Welcome, Sunita. Hi. Okay, so I've caught up to the chat. Now, I will mention we have 14 minutes and 40 seconds left of session number 1. If you get a second, because I know I want you to hyper focus, I want you to really pay attention to your project, and I'll explain why here in a second. But if you find a second in the transition time block, or at any point you're like, you know what, I can type in here, it's not a big deal, please let me know what you're working on. I love to hear what has your attention, what projects you chose to work on, because it tells me a lot. Like, what are things that you initiated, you gravitated towards, and it'll help me to get a better idea of what my audience likes to do, you know, without being prompted with other things, like what you chose to do. The projects, I'm only bringing 2 today, because usually the first block of time I never get to work because I am explaining things, I'm talking through things, I'm welcoming everybody, and I'm talking a lot about the talk points that I brought to the table with us today. Speaking of the talk points, I have things that I wrote down that I would love to chat with you about, just so I had something to talk about and I was prepared. But if you have a question, or if you have anything that you would like to chat about that is crochet related, yarn related, please mention it in the chat. It just helps me have more content, more things to talk about. And by session 3, the third block of time for today, usually I get really quiet in session 3, because by then I've said everything I was going to say, and I am like hyper focusing on my own projects that I have brought. So I only brought 2 with me today. The first one is the Granny Square project. I got these 3 huge Lion Brand Pound of Loves. Love these colors. I think they're beautiful together. And I'm making a ton of granny squares. Some of you already know about this project. Some of you don't. Making a bunch of granny squares. All different variations of the 3 colors. And the goal is I want to make a duffel bag out of these granny squares. I think these colors will be so beautiful, and I'll line the duffel bag so it's stronger and you can do more with it. But I thought that would be so cool. It's just going to take me a hot second, because I want to do specific expandable pockets. I'm not going to do something boring. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it for you, utility, for using it. And so I'm going to want the extra pockets and the extra storage. And so to accomplish what I want to accomplish, it's going to take a lot of granny squares, a lot of those itty bitty 3 round granny squares. And so I'm grateful that I have these Pound of Loves, because I'm going to be using most of it. I don't even think I'll need all of it, because that's a lot of yarn, but I'm going to be making quite the dent in those skeins for those granny squares. So that project won't come out for quite a while, because I'm still in the tinkering process of that, where I'm playing with the squares and I still have to design, and then I have to make sure it works, and then you write up the pattern. So that one is long out. That one isn't going to come around for quite a while, but it's in the works, in the process. So I'll tinker with that a little bit today. And then the second project I brought with me today is the Warm Up America blanket sections that I have joined together, and I'm working on the border. I'm just trying to wrap up the border. I am on round 2, I think. Yeah, I'm currently on round 2 of the border. Round 3 will be the last round. Just clean it up. You know, I just wanted to clean up the edges. But this is the project that we worked on together at my crochet retreat that I did in August. So they all came together so well. I decided to help them out at Warm Up America, and instead of giving them all of our sections, I was like, you know what? I'm going to join them together. I will finish it off with a border. I know that's a really big deal, because it's volunteers that do that at the foundation, and I just wanted to make sure I did that. So when I present this to them, it's done, and then they can move it along to wherever they want to move it along. But it's got specific patterns that I created for for Colorado, things that made me think of Colorado, a lot of the color palettes that made me think of Colorado. So I will be tinkering with the border today because I really want to get that sent out to them. That's something I wanted to get that out to them in the beginning of September, but because I was short a couple squares, I didn't have, like, when I was joining them, I was like, oh no, I am short. I was short like 4 squares. So I needed to, or sections. So I needed to create 4 sections. And then I wanted to make sure that like different patterns weren't right next to, I tried to avoid patterns being right next to each other or colors being right next to each other so that there was more variety going on. And that made things a little more challenging as well, because that I added to the holes that I needed to fill, but it's okay. I'm happy with it. It's good. And then hopefully I can get that wrapped up ASAP, because we're going to be starting the new Warm Up America Yarns Giving campaign October 12th, which is one of the things that I want to talk about with you today. I want to get that to them so I can wrap that project up, that whole concept up, and then be able to focus on other things. October is September is kind of the beginning of this holiday season, but really October is because October has the first actual holiday in it. Yes, September does have a holiday in it, but when we're thinking about like the big like decor holidays that people get really excited about, it's October, November, December, right? And so this time of year, all of us crafters and any and all crafting organizations or like yarn, like craft stores, yarn manufacturers, that's the word I was looking for, manufacturers, they're crazy. Everybody is crazy this time of year. So I really just kind of want to clean things up and start focusing on other areas, because those areas are so much fun this time of year. We get so busy. 7 minutes and 30 seconds left of session 1. Keep going, guys. Hopefully you've tunnel visioned and you're good. Now you might be asking me, Tiffany, why do you keep saying tunnel vision? What's happening? What is this live? Maybe you've never been here before. You've never experienced one of my Wednesday WIP Knockout lives, because they are fairly new. I'm buried in WIPs. I am buried in projects that I've started, not finished. They are literally everywhere. And I'm one of those people that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And so I have like 3 totes filled with WIPs because I couldn't have them in my space anymore. So I just put them away. But then of course, out of sight, out of mind, I forgot about them. And I just continued to make more WIPs. And so finally I was like, this is out of hand. This is out of control. I am taking up too many spaces in my home with projects. I need to clean them up, wrap them up, get them out of my space, either make room for us to live here. It's a hoarding problem. It's becoming a hoarding problem. Make space for us to actually use the linen closet for what it's supposed to be used for. And get people the things that we started and haven't finished yet, like get that all wrapped up, moved on, so we can clean our space. And if you get to the point where you've cleaned up enough space, you can make room for new yarn, new inspiration, and new projects. So I was overwhelmed. And I was experiencing a crazy amount of WIPs. And I was like, if I'm experiencing a crazy amount of WIPs, I have a feeling that other people are probably in the same boat that I'm in. And something that I've been hearing very consistently on a regular basis, which many of you have heard me say, is there's this concept of small steps repeated regularly over time result in accomplishment. And so I was like, okay, if I can just make small steps, work on my WIPs projects for just a small amount of time, I'm still making forward progress in them. And eventually those small amount of time will add up and the project will be done. And because I only gave it 20 minutes, I don't feel like something was sacrificed in order for me to chisel away at this WIP. So that's what I'm hoping is every Wednesday we're going to get together and we're going to do this and we're going to slowly chisel away at projects to make them go away. and get them under control. So hopefully this is working for you. I know it doesn't work so much for me. It doesn't work so much for me during the lives because I want you to be successful. I want you to focus, and I want to like just talk with you so that way it's not silent and boring. And so after this live, I will set aside my own 20-minute increments here and there, and I work on my WIPs on my own time. We got 4 minutes left of session number 1. I see some question marks. Thank you guys so much for the question marks. Remember, I am here live with you. If you have questions, I am here. I do have super chats and super stickers for those of you just popping in, and they really help my attention span. They grab my attention. So, and I appreciate those so incredibly much. But you can also ask a question by putting a couple question marks in the front, and then it'll help me to identify, hey, that's different. All right, Dawn. Dawn says, any advice on tying on yarn to a finished object to make it bigger? So are you talking about just joining more yarn to your project so you can keep going? If that is the case, then check out my invisible join. That is my go-to. I use all the time. It's my favorite way to attach yarn to a project because it just is invisible. You can keep going and you don't have to skip a beat. You can't see it. You don't have to worry about finishing at the end of a row to stop and then waste. There's a lot of yarn waste when you do that. So check out my invisible join. But if you're talking about something else, tying on yarn to a finished object to make it bigger, what I would try to do is I would slip stitch into a stitch with your new yarn, new color, just to attach the yarn to the project. And then depending on what the pattern is, I would do a chain as if I was starting a new round or a new row. And then I would start working the pattern as if I was just not skipping a beat, just keep going. So that is what I would do, slip stitch. If it's a blanket, slip stitch in the very first stitch. If it's something round, circular, just find a stitch close to where you're seeing the rounds end and start there and then keep going. Hopefully that helps. 2 different ways of answering a question. Virginia. Oh, great question. What does WIP stand for? So WIP, W-I-P, I'm sure somebody has got to have answered this in here already, stands for works in, yep, Sakura, works in progress. So basically a project that you started and haven't finished yet. That is a WIP. Oh, Sharon, you're working on a sweater. I love it. I have a lot of wearables that I want to make. Started. Not a lot of progress on them. Jasmine or Jasmine, however you would like, however it's pronounced for you. A pencil bag for my electronics, your Bluetooth headphones and watch. I love that. That is so cool. That would make a great gift idea too. Lori is making Christmas themed blankets. Yes, that sounds fun. Jasmine says a sweater set also, but she ran out of yarn and it has more on the way. Dang it. It's like, bummer. You got stopped. You got paused. Heather, still no crochet. My heart goes out to you. I hope that you're resting and getting yourself that break that you need, because sometimes you do, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. So take your break. Hopefully whenever I'm really losing Crojo, I try to find some inspiration, something that gets me excited again. And I'll look on Pinterest, or I'll look in crochet books, or I will even, our first 20-minute session is done, guys. So now I'm going to put 5 minutes on the timer. Okay. 5-minute transition. This 5 minutes is for you to finish up what you were doing with project number 1, whether that's finish the row or at least get to a good pausing spot, then fold up your project or neatly put your project away. Grab your second project, take a drink of your water or whatever beverage you brought with you, maybe stand up and do a nice little stretch, mini stretch, and get yourself situated, comfy, cozy, ready for session number 2. What was I saying? I had it. Oh, Crojo. Yeah, I just try to find, or I'll go out. I will go out to stores, and me personally, when I go out to stores and I see patterns, or I see some kind of inspiration where I'm like, oh, that would be so cool to crochet something with that. And it's like just being inspired sometimes really helps. I don't know where you're at in your loss of Crojo, how depleted that you got before you said, no, I got to stop. But I'm hoping that something will just kind of spark inside of you. It can be really itty bitty, maybe just crocheting for charity. And you're like, it's not for me. I'm just doing something to help out. Or it could just be, it's just something silly, something small. Just do a bunch of things, like a bunch of soap sacks if you want. We just wrapped up that soap sack campaign, by the way. September's soap sack campaign has wrapped up. If you still need to ship out your soap sacks, just ship them out as soon as you can. I'm going to get numbers from Stacy this week. And if you miss our deadline, if you still can't get them shipped in time to count towards our campaign, that's fine. That's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of the campaign and see how many we can donate together. But the ultimate goal is to just help people. So as long as you can get your soap sacks either sent in to Stacy or donated locally along with a bar of soap. So if you're donating locally to your church, your food pantry, a homeless shelter, a high school, a college, there's a lot of different places that you can donate to your soap sacks to. But if you're going to donate locally, you really need to provide an unopened bar of soap per soap sack that you donate, because locations do not do that. And then people don't understand what the soap sacks are for, and it completely defeats the purpose. So if you donate locally, that's great. Support your backyard, the people in your own community. Just make sure that you attach the bar of soap with it. Otherwise, it's for naught. We don't want that. 1 minute and 40 seconds left of our break. Hopefully you've grabbed your second project and you are ready to go. Wow, Dawn, you're making an Ohio State Grafgan for your son? Girl, that sounds awesome. Shawanda, you are a new crocheter. Welcome. And I apologize for your new obsession and yarn hoard. This is such an amazing, rewarding, and interesting hobby that takes everybody down their own unique crochet journey. And crochet takes people in vastly different directions. I love hearing people's stories because everyone's story is so different. But there is so much good and positivity that comes from crochet. It's incredible. It warms my heart. So I'm so glad that you started and you're giving it a go. But I apologize for the fact that you are now going to have an expensive habit. Most people I know that get into crochet, all of a sudden they're like, where'd my money go? I have all this yarn. It's like, yeah, it happens. What are the 3 colors of Pound of Love yarn that I have over here? This one right here got 8 seconds. Let me go ahead and actually start the 20-minute timer, and then I'll talk about it. 1, and there we go. Switching it to 20. Our second 20-minute session starts now. And go, begin your second project. You got this. Okay, so I have here, this is Cinnabar. It's really, really pretty. I love this color. I could see myself making a lot of different things with this color. Then I also have the labels over here. This lighter one is called Quartz, and then Antique White right there. And then my idea, because I wanted to shake things up. Usually people join granny squares with the Antique White or a cream or a white, but I was like, I kind of want to have a different look with this. So I plan on joining all the squares with this beige light taupe color, more so like a beige, I'd say. This is going to, this is called Sugar Cookie, and I thought this will add a vintage look to the squares as I join them. I mean, can you imagine? Like this, just like a sepia. It'll come up like a sepia. How cool that'll look. I'm excited. But like I mentioned, that project won't come out for a long time. So, all right. Sakura, you got 20 to send out. I love it. That's amazing. You want to make, Kathy wants to make a bath set. How much do you think you should charge? So I have a video on how to charge for your crochet. Basically, you want to charge, it's a combination of cost of materials, your time, and then the things you didn't think of. So people often don't do the things that we didn't think of, but it's valid and it should count. And when I'm talking about things you didn't think of, I'm talking about how much did it cost you to go to the store to buy that item, and how much did it cost you, or did you have to, what would I say? Did you include the assembly time when you were including the time it took you to make the item, or did you only include the time it took you to crochet the item? How about taking the item to ship it? Like the driving time, the cost of your time, that's stuff. And at first it doesn't seem like something you should charge. Like for me, I was like, why would I charge for that? But then as I started to get more busy, I realized that the time it took me to run to the store and come back to go get that thing, or the time it took me to take that item to the post office, wait in line at the post office if you have to, and then come home, like that was time away from my family. It was time away from me doing some chores around the house, from me cooking dinner. It was time away from that. It was my time that I had to designate for this project, for this purchase, this transaction. If you are selling live as a vendor, then it would be a lot of other little things. So it's basically those little things you don't think about. But and then cost of materials is fairly easy. But the problem is if you spend 7 hours on a project and you only charge somebody $8, the question then becomes, would you do it again? Like, and that's where I start to wrap my head around what is the base price that you'd be willing to make that project for somebody if they asked you to make it again. And it needs to be a price that you'd be okay, not a price where you'd be grudgingly just be upset and grumpy pants the whole time, where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to make this. This is making me unhappy. Like, I don't want to do this. And I'm only charged somebody $12 for me to make something that took me 5 hours to do. And blah, blah, blah. Like, if it's going to make you miserable and unhappy, then charge more. Like, and it's up to the customer if they want to pay it. If you're making a bunch of stuff and the price of the item is so high that you're noticing, why is nobody buying my stuff? Like, then you might need to reevaluate. Honestly, what I tell myself, you're not going to make bank. Just put it in your head right now. You're not going to make, you're not going to become rich crocheting. You're not going to make a ton of money off of your items. You'll make money, sure, but be realistic. I tell myself that I make just above minimum wage. I give that to myself because I tell myself, if I'm going to be at home and I'm going to be taking time away from my kids to make this thing for somebody, then I need to be at least making minimum wage. So I clock my time and then I give myself a little bit over minimum wage. And I think I crochet very well. I think that I have a very professional project, a very professional product. And if I'm charging just above minimum wage for a very professional looking product, and I still sometimes undercut myself in order to sell an item, then somebody who's going to come at it thinking they're making $20 an hour, I'm like, right, you're more than welcome to put that price tag on your item, but if you don't sell anything, you might want to reevaluate your prices. So it's really just kind of like a combination of playing with numbers, your materials. You gotta at least reimburse yourself for what the money you put out of your pocket, right? And then your time is valuable. Your time is valuable. And then on top of that, what else did you have to do in order to make that sale? And so combination of those and then give yourself time too. Like, put that price tag on the item. See how people react to it. If you're selling like crazy, you probably could go up a little bit. If no one's buying your stuff, you might want to come down a little bit. So then, it's feeling out the market. And also realizing, I really wanted to make stuffed animals. I made a bunch of stuffed animals. Why are all my stuffed animals $50 for something that's like this big? Why is nobody buying it? Maybe that's not the item you should be making. I did that as a vendor. I realized personally, I loved making stuffed animals, amigurumi, but the cost it took me to make it, to the return on investment, was not there. And so I would still make a couple things because of the pure joy in doing it. But I realized, beanies, scarves, and some other things had a big return on investment, and I could sell it for a smaller price point and still make money. And that was a sweet spot. So it's just a lot of also just feeling it out, right? So it's way more than just, what should I charge? It's so much more. And so I just want to bring that to everyone's attention. We got 11 minutes left in session number 2. Please stick around, because after session number 2, we're doing a stretch together, a crocheter stretch, working on our bodies, focusing on our health. And so please stick around for that. Ads again. Okay, just click past them. Kathy would go with red for Red Sox. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. Oh, Sania says, I'm using sugar cookie for the antique look on your gingerbread mosaic blanket. Hey, so I was right there in line with it. It adds that antique look that somebody else is doing it. That's so funny. I love that. Aw, Kathy says she has a pattern that she for a blanket that she's crocheting for her hubby. Love that. You can share with me a couple different ways. You can share it on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and tag me. And when you tag me, it'll like attach me to it and I'll see it, which is so cool. So much fun. Or you can email the picture to me and I'll see it that way. And my email address is just info@crochetwithtiffany.com. Hi, Samantha. Welcome back. Godly Man said, do you see me a question? Let me go back. Like I mentioned, that whole attention span thing. Let me see. I'm scrolling. Can you ask it again, please? A Godly Man 2002. Because I don't see it. Heather says, you have a Facebook? Yeah, FB is just Facebook. Yes, I do. I have all the social medias because each social media caters to a different type of person. Instagram, you're just kind of looking for entertainment, something fun. TikTok is just entertainment. Just show me something quickly and get out of my way. YouTube is a tutorial. Like I'm here because I want to learn something. I am here because I have a question that I need answered. That's YouTube. And then Facebook is more like family oriented in the sense of tell me a story, like give me more detailed, more information on what it is that you're sharing with me right now. Tell me the story. And so that's kind of the difference of all the different platforms that I have seen. Hi, Nessa, welcome. No worries. We have about a little less than 8 minutes of session number 2. So if you want to jump right in, please do. Yes, my email is in all of my descriptions. If you scroll to the bottom, it's all my contact stuff, including all of my social media platforms and my website and all the things. So you can find it there. All right, cool. I'm going to dive into some of my other questions or talking points that I have here. One of the big ones that I want to talk about, because my heart does go to charity so heavily, it just seems to be my journey. I seem to gravitate that direction, is crochet health, crochet and charity, and making the world a better place. And we just, or a big chunk of the country of the United States, for those of you who live all across the world, a big chunk of people were just affected by Hurricane Helene, and I would love to help them out. And if anyone here knows how I can get in contact with an organization that is looking for crocheted items to help these people, please let me know. I know a lot of organizations like the Red Cross I reached out to, they're really hoping for more financial assistance, which makes sense. Get the people food, get the people hygiene products, get the people stuff to basic necessities to live. What I'm hoping for is to possibly find a way that we can help them through crochet, whether that is like lapgans, quick blankets, something to give them some comfort, and like maybe shawls, something to make them feel a little bit of like comfort, or like something that says someone cares and I got you, because so many people's worlds just got completely rocked. So I am trying to find more information on how to do that. And every single day is another day that people are going. And so if you have any way of helping, please let me know. Tiffany, do you like listening to Christmas music? Yeah, yes, I do. For a certain period of time, I have like my set songs. I am one of those people that is nostalgic and I like listening to the old stuff. Um, I know that a lot of the songs are basically the same, sung by different people, but for me, I was raised in a family that my parents were into like vintage car clubs and they loved the stuff, collecting stuff from the 50s and the 60s. So I was raised around 50s, 60s, 70s music. I didn't even hear my own like cohort slash music from people my own age until I was in high school. So uh, I just my heart goes out to those old Christmas songs, and still every year Christmas time hits and that's what I listen to. But at the same time, there's a point where it's too much. And so I'll listen to it for a little while and then I'll shut it down and I won't listen to anything, or I'll turn on a movie or something. And so, but yeah, yes, I do. Anyway, do you think you could play Christmas music in the background? And may I recommend I love Lindsay Sterling. She is incredible. If you don't know who Lindsay Sterling is, look her up. She is a violinist who is insanely talented, and she can make her violin sound like somebody singing, and it is insane. Um, Unfortunately, I cannot play music in the background because YouTube doesn't like that, and it'll flag me and shut me down. I literally had a meeting with my membership club that I had a couple years ago, and I was in a Starbucks, and I had my computer set up there because I was away from home. And I was just in the Starbucks having my meeting, in a membership meeting, and YouTube flagged me because of the music playing in Starbucks in the background. And I was like, what? So I had to like delete that and like do all the things. And I was like, oh, crazy. So unfortunately, no music playing in the background for me. I wish, because that would be awesome. It would. Uh, Back the blue. So we have 3 minutes left in session 2, guys. 3 minutes. Tunnel vision, working on those projects. You've got this. You've got this. Kind of speed round. Are we allowed to share pics of any projects we're working on, or only your pattern tutorials? I don't want to break the rules. You're more than welcome to share any projects that you're working on all the time. I want to see your motivation. I want to see what you're inspired by. So, if it's something that's mine, that's very flattering and really cool. But if it's not, then I still think it's really cool. And I want to see what caught your attention, caught your eye. It tells me a lot. If I hear of something, oh, thank you, Nessa. You are definitely a warrior when it comes to charities and information too. So I value you so much. And yep, in a few weeks, the temperatures are going to start to drop. I know, like all day today, I had all the windows open in my house. It felt amazing. It was the first day. Today was the first day that I've been able to do that. And then for this live, I shut all the windows because I didn't want like car noise or dog noises becoming like distracting or an issue in the live. And so I turned the AC back on because I was like, I'm shutting all the windows. It's going to get hot in here. So, but it felt so good. And Dawn says, contact the mayor of a seriously devastated city. Ooh, or maybe the governor of the state and see if they'll accept handmade blanket soap sacks. I'm thinking soap sacks would be great for them, especially if we can donate soap, because again, these people lost everything. So being able to provide them some kind of hygiene product, this bar of soap, massively huge. And then the soap sack, one, it's good for for hygiene because it keeps the bar of soap off the ground with the little loop on it. So it keeps it sanitary. But also the little note that you can make to add to the soap sack explaining what it is. Because some people see a soap sack and they just don't get it. They're like, what is that? I don't know how to use that. So having a little description of what it is and that it's made with love and all those beautiful things, it just will mean so much to the people that receive it. 20 seconds. If you need help with a little tag, soapsacks.com, they have like little printable tags that you can just print and cut out and attach, and it's great. Don says I was zoned out working on my son's blanket. That's awesome. And time is up. Awesome. Go ahead and take 2 minutes to wrap up the project. I don't want you to feel rushed out of this. I want you to have 2 minutes to finish the row or just like finish up your project, fold it up nice and neatly, put it away. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just stand up. I'm going to adjust my camera so that way when I stand, I'm still in frame and you're not seeing like this part of me is cut off because I stood up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, loosen up you. There we go. There we go. And move my chair out of the way. Somebody mentioned my shirt. I felt like wearing it today. I like the colors a lot. So this was the merch shirt from my Denver retreat. It was cool. I thought it was neat. So awesome. 1 minute left. Remember, wrap up your project and then just stand. Just stand for me. Got 1 more minute. Going to run through the chat real fast. A Godly Man 2002 says, it's freezing in my house. Is it freezing because of the AC or is it freezing because it's cold outside? Because I know like here in Texas, it gets so hot outside, even now that the buildings crank up the AC and it's so cold. You're welcome, Nessa. Mwah. She says, thank you. That was sweet. Yeah. I did reach out to the Red Cross once and I haven't heard back from them. And it's when I was at their website, it looked like they were really hoping for some more financial assistance, which makes sense with the food and all the other things that they want to provide people. So just thinking outside the box. 2, 1, cool. All right, it is now time for our stretch session. I started doing these stretch sessions when I started these lives because they're so structured. And I was thinking, okay, we've just sat in the same position for 50 minutes, right? 2 20-minute sessions plus the 5 minutes that we started the whole live with and the 5-minute transition between 1 and 2. So 50 minutes, we've got to work on our bodies. It's actually recommended for us crocheters, knitters, any crafter who sits a lot for their craft, that every 40 minutes or so, you do stand up. It helps with your blood circulation. It helps with your oxygen circulation. It also helps relieve the muscles that have just been either contracted or retracted, and it also like helps your butt because we've just been sitting like that whole time and everything's been just kind of pooling, and so you want to just make sure that you get your body moving so you can get all that stuff rotating through your body. It's just all good things, all things we should be doing. And so I wanted to incorporate that, give you some ideas of different stretches that you can try. Every week I try to do something a little bit different to keep it a little fresh. There are a couple body part points that I try to focus on. I don't get to all of them every week, but I try to focus on our neck, our shoulders, our upper chest. I try to focus on our shoulders, if I didn't say that all right, our forearms, our wrists, our hands, our fingers, and our lower back. So because those are the areas that when we're just like this for 40 minutes doing this thing, You know, we've got to change that up, shake that up. So let's start with our neck. This stretch, a lot of people seem to like a lot. So I'm going to do this one again. Take your right arm and put your right arm on your waist or your hip or wherever you want to put it. Then take your neck, take your other hand on your head, and then just gently pull. Don't yank, don't tug, nothing hard. Just kind of slowly guide it. Just kind of guide your neck over. Feel that stretch. Count to 3, 2, 3, and then take this arm, keep your head where it's at, and make this arm go straight. Oh my gosh. The stretch gets deeper. It feels so good. And then hold it forever, however long you want to hold it. This, again, is for your body. You listen to your body and release your hand and slowly bring your head straight. Want to take a second to mention that I am not a physical therapist. I am not a doctor. I am a crocheter who is sharing with you some crochet stretches. So please, by all means, do not do a stretch that I share with you that makes you feel a certain way you shouldn't be feeling, like pain or extreme discomfort. If you want to substitute any of these stretches out for something that you know works, do it, please. I want to make sure that this is all positive and good for your body and not the other way around. Okay. So now let's go ahead and put our left arm on our waist or our hip. Take our left hand onto our head and gently guide our head to the other side. Count to 3, 2, 3, and then take your arm and make it straight for a deeper stretch. Oh my gosh. So good. And release. You can hold that for as long as you want. You can do that as many times as you want. Enjoy. All right, so that was our neck. Next, I'm going to want to focus on our shoulders. So we're going to do shoulder circles, full shoulder circles, 5 forward, then 5 backwards, and then other arm. Let's start with our left arm. We're going to go forward, okay? So we got 1, 2, really feel it here, okay? 3, it's what we're going for right here. 4, 5. Now let's go the other way, backwards. 1, and really feel it. So like back right here. Oh yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. Let's do the other one. Other side. Forward first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I felt that. I know I needed that because I unfortunately felt that a little bit more than I probably should have. Ooh, that tells me I've been a bad girl. I have not been doing very good on my stretches because felt that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So 2 stretches down. I tried to do 5. The next stretch, I'm going to focus on our wrists and just do wrist rolls. Let's do 10 wrist rolls. 1, 2, 3. You want to feel it here, guys. 4, 5, and also here. So both sides are getting it. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. The next stretch we're going to do is finger extensions. I think they're called finger extensions. So I'm going to come closer to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. But these feel amazing. So take your hand Take your other hand, and you're just going to guide the finger. Again, no yanking, no pulling hard. Just take your finger and just guide it back. What you should be feeling is a nice stretch in the palm of your hand. And with some of the fingers, you're even going to feel the stretch down your forearm. It's amazing. With our fingers doing this a lot, we're just trying to go the opposite direction. And about 5 seconds per finger, nothing crazy. One, especially the middle finger, I feel it all like furthest down. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With the thumb, we want to bring the thumb out more as much as we can, because if we keep it here and go back, then our range of motion is like this much. But if we can bring it out and then back, look how the range of motion changes from here back to there, back. Crazy. 5. Next hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thumb out, back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Great job. We have one more stretch to go because I tried to do 5. That's it. Okay, for this stretch, we're going to do overs. Okay, we're going to hold on to the stretch for 5 seconds. If you like the stretch and want to hold on to it for longer, feel free. So put your right hand on your waist, your left hand, just swoop over and bend. You'll feel a nice stretch right here. It feels so good. 3, 4, 5. And go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whew. That's it. That's all I want you to do today. You can do more if you want. By all means, go nuts with your stretching. But if you can at least do 5 stretches every 40 minutes or so of you crocheting, 1, it feels so good. And 2, it just gets, like I mentioned, the blood flowing, the oxygen going, and it just keeps everything in your body working the way you want it to, and you'll reduce the opportunity of bad things happening. And when I say bad things, I mean like aches and pains developing. We don't want that. Oh, no. No. We want to avoid that. That's why. And I haven't been crocheting, so a godly man, you can't say anything. A godly man in 2002, you always mention, you're like, where's your Volare pillow? It's like, it's right here, but I haven't been crocheting, and that's why I haven't pulled it up. But again, like, just do whatever you can to avoid those aches and pains, people. So I hope you really liked that session. Go ahead and grab your third project, because we're about to start our third session. And in this third session, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a project to tinker with and try to knock out with you all. Dawn said you felt the shoulder stretch in your left shoulder for sure. Oh, she mentioned she has arthritis and scoliosis, and she's hoping the stretches will help. I hope so too. That would be fantastic. All right, guys. Hopefully you have your third project, because here we go. Last 20-minute session starts now. This is our last session together, and then the live is complete for today. So make this one count, guys. Last 20 minutes. You know what? I'm gonna work on this one because I don't have to count or cut and reattach new yarn. I can just kind of go nuts. So let's work on this one here. Voila. Here we go. All right, looking at some of the other things that I wanted to chat with you guys about. So, like I mentioned earlier in this live, we are just now entering into the fall season, holidays going on. I'm curious about your projects. Now, I know that you are hardcore tunnel vision. You're like, Tiffany, stop asking us questions. You told us to focus. So if you want to answer this question, or if you want to wait till after the live and then you can respond to the video replay. But I'm curious, what type of projects are you working on right now? Are they fall themed, home decor? Are you working on some gifts? Are you hardcore, like trying to knock out some Christmas presents or just some holiday gifts? I always loved doing holiday themed, like home decor stuff. There's some incredible crochet projects out there that are holiday themed. And it's funny because I have in my crochet club, I have a fall/Halloween crochet contest that we're doing right now. And we're going to be actually having the contest where people will show their entries and we will vote on winners. Wednesday, October 30th is the last Wednesday of the month. We'll actually have our contest. And I created the contest for the very reason that I'm going to talk about right now. And that is, there are so many holiday themed projects that I've always wanted to make. But I always paused and stopped myself because I was thinking, every time I start, I was waiting for it. I got leave out to those two. I was like, every time I start, I hear you in my head. I'm like, she's gonna ask me. Like, where's your floor? You got in my head because I'm not even looking at the chat, and I'm like, she's gonna say it. I know she's gonna say it. I went for it, and then I saw your comment. That's so funny. But there are so many projects that I want to make, and I just don't. And so I created this contest for people who feel the same way, so that I gave them the permission they needed to make the thing they want to make, and be like, well, now I have a reason because I'm entering it into this contest, But yeah, I really want to make so many different holiday themed projects, just home decor, things to feel the vibe, and either holiday or even just seasonal, the fall. Fall themed birthday presents and sweater, other gifts and Christmas presents. Girl, you always have so much you're doing. Oh my gosh. Dawn says all of her projects are Christmas gifts. Some projects in mind, but you don't think you'll be able to get it done until next year. Makes sense. And then Beach Girl 91 says Christmas gifts. Thank you guys for answering. That's awesome. I am so proud of you all for working on your Christmas gifts, because, us crocheters, we sometimes forget how long it takes us to make things, and we can easily be overly optimistic and think, oh yeah, I need to make 5 blankets. 2 weeks, got it. I got this. I can do it. Like, what? Yeah. That's usually me. We'll get down to crunch time for a holiday, for like Christmas gifts, and I'll be like, I can just make something, and I'll look at like how many people I need to make for, and I'm like, ooh. There's definitely been many, many Christmases where I had intentions, and then I was like, nope. I wasn't able to make all the things that I wanted to make, and ended up having to, crunch time, find a gift I could buy real quick. I'm hoping to actually, here on my channel, starting, I think I want to start about middle of this month. I think that'd be a really good idea. Middle of this month, I want to start making project tutorials on small giftable projects that you can make for gifts that are fast and easy. And if you're not exactly sure what to make, certain people will totally work. Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. Give some good ideas. Kelly G says, I have definitely fallen into the overly optimistic category. I love it. Thank you, Nessa. She says that the Warm Up America blanket is coming along nicely. I'm so close. I'm on round 2. And then you were actually the one, Nessa, that mentioned the border idea. So round 3, I'm going to do that crab stitch / reverse single crochet stitch to finish off the border. And then I'm done. Then I'll contact Warm Up America and be like, it's ready. So close, so close. But yeah, it came out awesome. Dun, dun. Got 12 minutes and 30 seconds left in session number 3. So I also mentioned that Warm Up America, I'm trying to wrap this up because they're about to begin a huge campaign, and you're going to hear me talking a lot about it here very, very soon in my social media and in the community tab here on YouTube. So if you've never been to my community tab, go check it out. I try to put some updates in there and some cool stuff in there. So if you just watch my videos or wait for my videos, go check out my YouTube channel and check out my community also. It's going to be called Yarns Giving, and it's all about crocheting things for charity, all sorts of things. And I'll have more information for you when I start posting, but it will run from October 12th to December 3rd, and it's going to be a really big deal. So I mentioned that I'm going to be dedicating most of my time to this Warm Up America campaign, but starting in November, it's going to be Boggy Creek or Camp Boggy Creek blankets. And I also have a blanket that I need to jump on, get started soon, that I'm excited to create a tutorial for to give people inspiration on a Camp Boggy Creek blanket. It's going to be so cool. Very pretty. There's a lot I want to do. So much. And I know that most of you feel the same way. So much you want to do. Oh, for that newer crocheter that was here. I don't know if you're still here. Say hi if you're still here. But be prepared for a laundry list of projects that you want to do. That seems like you'll never get it done. Just so many things that you can crochet. It's a lot of fun. Oh, Michi, you made it. Hi, girl. I'm so happy for you popping in. That's so cool. Do I still have my other YouTube? So yes, I do have this channel. This is my main channel. And then I have my behind the scenes channel. I started doing these on my behind the scenes channel to test it, to see how people felt about it. And when I was getting a good response, I knew it was time that I could bring it over to my main channel where I could reach more people that might benefit from this format. But I do have I do have the other channel. It's just I post on there rarely because that's where I post all the behind the scenes things that I got going on that I do. I have other videos that I just have I'm behind on my editing. I have a lot of videos that I need to wrap up and edit. There's a couple videos that will go exclusively over there. I try to keep my main channel more purposeful, and my behind the scenes channel is just like the extra stuff. You know what I mean? So if you've subscribed to both, that's cool. They are just know they're different. There's no harm or foul in subscribing to one and not the other, or subscribing to both. You're going to get a very different feel. I also have a bunch of videos that I need to edit for my crochet club too. Got some exclusive stuff over there that I polished up, and I just need to bring it forward for them. Mm-hmm. 7 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh, you're in and out sleeping. Oh, girl, get some rest. You are superwoman. Those of you who did not know, I have the Michi's Crochet Nook here in the chat, and she has her own channel. Very cool content. I also have Nessa here, and Nessa, your name is not the same as your channel. But I have a couple other YouTubers here. Check out their channels. Oh no! Michi says she's working on the zigzag square from the sampler blanket. Cool square. You're on the last one. Good for you. Number 12. But not the best pattern to play with when you have foggy brain. Oh. Michaela, you're like, girl, you are the Tiffany. Like, that just feels weird. Like, oh, thank you, everybody. So what I have here that I am putting together, here's the other side, the good side. When at my crochet retreat this year, I thought it would be a lot of fun. I really want, this is my first retreat. So I was like, gosh, what could we do? And I was like, you know, it would be awesome if people needed some ideas of something to do. I could provide some Warm Up America sections, and we could help lift up Warm Up America. We could do some exclusive soap sack patterns, and people could make soap sacks if they wanted and lift up soap sacks, because those are the two charities that I am most connected to. And so a bunch of people made these Warm Up America sections, and it's so cool. I was able to get yarn donated from Warm Up America. And I told them, I was like, it's going to be in Denver, Colorado. So if there was any way that they could donate yarn that was like certain colors to make it feel like Denver, Colorado, that would be really cool. And they did. It was so neat that they were able to do that. And so at the retreat, we had all of these really cool yarns and colors that resembled Colorado. And we had the squares. And so I had a bunch of squares. And I didn't want to just give Warm Up America all the sections, the squares, and then they had to join them together and stuff. I wanted to present Warm Up America with a finished blanket. So I joined them all together, and I'm working on the border right now, wrapping it up. And they did. They came out so good together. I'm so excited about it. That's awesome. Ooh. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. We're in crunch time, people. We got this. Hyper focusing, blinders on. It's almost like it's not yarn chicken, it's clock chicken. How much can we get done in 3 minutes? You got this. Remember, this is just our exclusive 20-minute window for this project. Chiseling away at it just a little bit, making that forward progress with it. Guys, doing great. Like I mentioned, it's always like session 3 that I start to get real quiet. And you're like, what? You've been talking this whole time. Like, I also don't want it to be quiet. 2 minutes. One minute. You got this. You got this. And that's it. Congratulations, guys. Good job. You have just finished our third 20-minute session for today of our Wednesday WIP Knockout. I hope it felt good. I hope you feel accomplished. I hope you feel like, I made progress. I hope you enjoyed our stretch today and that felt real good. I just am so happy that you were able to make it. And if you're watching the replay right now, thank you so much for taking the time to work on your WIPs and get a little bit further and chisel away at them a little bit. Proud of you. If you are a Crochet Club member, I will see you tonight. We're going over pumpkins, crochet pumpkins, the different formations or how to structure them differently and how I'm hoping by me showing you these two different ways I've seen people crochet pumpkins that you'll see how they're structured, how they're designed, and you can then take it and figure out how to customize them, make them bigger, smaller, taller, shorter, or even change the pattern on them altogether. So that'll be really fun. I hope you can make it tonight. For everybody else, I hope you enjoy this week's tutorial. Watch out for this weekend for a new project, something fun. I can't wait for you to see. And mark your calendar, because every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm here for you with another Wednesday WIP Knockout. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.